I think I was just really lucky. Oh gosh, it can't be worse than that. So what we did, we brought the creative culture to life. Sorry, we messed up.
We'll rework. Welcome to the marketing room. The Middle East advertising market is worth $8.44 billion today and heading towards $12 billion in 2034. But here's the number that stopped me. Full service agencies still command 58% of the total market. In a world where everyone said specialists would kill the generalist agency, the full service agency model is not just surviving, it's dominant. My guest today has spent 30 years proving exactly why. 30 years, 3 chapters, 1 city. Let's welcome Chairman and CEO of GP Inc., Rahul Nagpal. Rahul, thank you for
Thank you, sir.
accepting our invitation, for being in the marketing room.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Yeah. Well, it's wonderful. Yeah. I mean, it's so nice to share one's journey with a friend that I have also admired deeply and seen grow and become the man that he is.
Your story is inspiring. We'll go through the story today. And I'll start from where it all started. Advertising is not something people plan for. It usually finds you.
Yes.
How did it find you?
It goes back to MBA days. Something that was of keen interest to me. And the underlying narrative behind that interest was behavior. I used to absolutely love to see people act, behave, react in certain manners. That was curiosity. And that sort of led to, why does this ad do really, really well and why doesn't this do really, really well? And we were in the golden era of advertising. Right?
I know.
Back home.
90s, 80s.
Yeah, well, early 90s. 80s makes me really old. Early 90s. Early 90s. So yeah, we were in the golden age of advertising. And I think storytelling and what that storytelling did to human behavior was at its peak. So I think that's where it all started. And like to say, the rest is history.
Awesome. You started at JWT India. What did JWT teach you that the MBA didn't?
I think I was just really lucky because I don't think an organization teaches you what the culture in that organization teaches you. So JWT in those days, I think was a school of advertising.
It was HTA that time, right?
HTA was different. Actually, mine was not even JWT, it was contract.
Okay.
So contract was born out of JWT. They were one of those young, agile, aggressive go-getters at the cutting edge of doing creative work. And we used to win all sorts of awards, and which I subsequently found out after I joined the place, that these guys had built a culture of thinking. So I think the foundation there was to all youngsters. I mean, people like me, there used to be management trainees who joined up. So you had senior guys who would teach you how to write briefs. I used to have briefs thrown at my face, saying, go back, think again, go back, think again. And that foundation has stood me in stead till today. Because when you didn't have, we now call them insights, but in those days, it used to be called a single-minded proposition. You remember back in the day, right? And if you didn't have a proposition, your brief got thrown and you were told, grow up, go back, think again. And. So I think base and foundation really is the story at contract.
Super. Dubai happened in 1992. No agency market, no media city, nothing obvious. What was the pull?
I find that really interesting. Dubai was a story waiting to be written. And I was wanting to write my own story. Sometimes you meet an unfinished sentence. So I then said to myself, this is a marriage made in heaven. I came here, I was all of 26, 27. All I saw was opportunity. And to me, it was really a marriage made in heaven. Dubai met me, I met Dubai. And we grew together.
Great story, You worked in India, Middle East, UK. Which market most fundamentally changed you? The way you think about communication?
I think it's a deeper question. Every market, I think, adds something to it. And ultimately, you are a sum total of these experiences. If you take India, the sort of population, the people, the culture that we have. Imagine imbibing that and sort of coming here. Success or failure was not an option. Success is what you've got to go achieve. And then you learned, it's all over the English language, you learned the power of Jugaad. And you said, you've got to do that.
Get it done.
Yeah. You went to the Western world. The conversations were very sort of boxed, very driven by business challenges. From an Indian context, there was very much, how's the family, what's going on, da-da-da. But, you went there and you realized, this doesn't really happen. You go in, you have a conversation and you leave. 70% of the conversation is about everything else but work. And then you realize that it's a world where relationships thrive.
True.
The element of trust becomes really important. Let's have a conversation with this guy. Can I rely on him? Can I trust him? And that sort of then leads to, I think I can, and therefore work. So I think everything adds to you. And then finally, you come to a city like country like the UAE, a city like Dubai, and then you realize that you've got the Western skills and you've got the Jugaad Indian skills, and you've learned the...
And the communication skills. You
learned the Arab way. Yeah.
Amazing. I recently read your profile and I understood you are a long distance runner, yoga practitioner, Tai Chi practitioner, voracious reader. For someone who runs on discipline and stillness, how does it help shape the way you lead?
Oh gosh. I grew up as an army kid. So, dad, bless him, he's 90. Discipline was par for the course. You woke up at certain times.
A regime to follow.
You followed a certain regime. You went out, you dressed and spoke in a certain manner. That became part of your DNA. That sort of carried through into whatever I did. I've got this habit where I turn around and say, I will do this, and I go ahead and do it. And then I will not do this, but I still go ahead and do it. Okay. Simply because I say to myself, for me to know that I don't want to do it, I must do it to know that I don't want to do it. So I started running at the age of 50.
Interesting.
I must have been 47, 48. I started to, okay, let's try a kilometer, let's try 5. I did 10. Then at 50, I did my first marathon, and so on and so forth. And then when I did the ultra marathon, I came back. I genuinely think I was a changed human being. There are a number of times towards the end of the marathon, you say, why are you doing this? You're going to die. It's not worth it, etc., etc., etc. You are in situations, you turn around and say to yourself, it can't be worse than that. So I think discipline, resilience, keep going, keep at it, keep chipping.
That's the only way.
Yeah. So I think waking up in the morning and sort of being single-minded about
focused,
that focus, that purpose.
I can see the people around you are also driven from this energy that you bring in, the discipline you bring in.
Yeah. I think I say to people, I hold myself to a certain standard. If you're all my partners, we are all working together, that's not negotiable. We've got to strive hard. I go to clients and I said, listen, we're never going to be perfect. But if you give me a 6 on 10, I'll try to hit an 8 on 10. Anything beyond 8 on 10, we're doing a stellar job. It's really the
benchmark
standard that one is chasing. Because what's the point of having a vision, right?
True.
You have a vision. That vision needs to sort of come alive and be realized. But you can't do it if you drop.
It's just a word or a sentence. Yeah. No, 100%. 1998, you started your agency. No creative economy, no established agency culture in Dubai. What did you see in this market that others didn't spot?
I was really lucky that I found like-minded friends who eventually became my partners. So 2 things became really interesting. One, go back to where we started, the power of relationships. We'd had some really, really good relationships in the region, me and my partners. I was the youngest of the lot. The other guys, had been here for 8-10 years with new people, had great relationships. And the other thing we thought, and in those times it was only press ads and magazines and newspapers.
We still had the full page, half page, quarter page.
Correct.
Radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Radio, television. So what we did was we brought the creative culture to life. Storytelling wasn't happening, brand building, at the time people used to see Dubai very transactional. People come here for 3-4 years. Therefore, all the work was very tactical.
True.
But I think that changed. We came in and we said, people come and go, but brands live here longer than people. Brands live in perpetuity. Why is it that nobody is doing this sort of work? And that's really what we did. I remember 98 is when we started. I think it must have been early 2000 when the IAA awards happened. I think the first few categories, Agency A, Agency B, Agency C happened. I still remember whoever their MC was, and the award goes to, and people started to say partnership because we had won like 10 in a row.
Wow.
So, and then the question, 2 years since or 3 years since inception, who's this agency? And I think that's the
That
time.
helped push the...
Yeah, because it was really peer to peer, right? It was all people from the industry. So, we went around shaking hands and saying, we're the guys. Fortunately for us, we had some great clients on the other side.
Diva, Landmark, Global Village, Mashreq,
Correct.
Rivoli, long-term relationships in an industry. What was the philosophy on client retention?
Fundamentally, I think, Ganesh, people like to feel comfortable with people, So I think trust is the biggest reason why, and trust happens over time, right? You deliver campaign 1, you deliver great results, you deliver campaign 2, you deliver great results, and then the third one doesn't go to track. You stand up there, raise your hand and say, sorry, we messed up.
Rework.
And these are our learnings, and we'll get it right. Essentially, it's been a journey of trust. And I used to say to some of my clients that you've run great businesses. Actually, Renuka Jagtiani said this to me in one of the town halls, that Rahul, we knew how to build great businesses, but you made brands out of them, which I thought was the greatest compliment
True.
somebody could give me at that time, or give the agency at that time. And I think that has stood true even today. So I think essentially, Ganesh, boils down to trust.
And you kept delivering.
Ultimately, it's a relationship that is transactional, right? In which I am meant to deliver ABC. When I say I am in the agency, meant to deliver ABC. And the client ultimately trusts that I will deliver that ABC and deliver to a certain standard, to a certain quality, to achieve certain KPI. And when you do that time and time and time again,
Perfect. Yep.
trust happens.